the EMT school I went to was 3 months long.
Okay, 3 months.
So I had 3 months to learn everything from point A to point Z as far as what EMT does.
Okay.
Everything about like
human body, anatomy,
exactly,
everything.
all this
Only
stuff.
3 months. It's like jam
It
an
was
entire
just nonstop.
an entire study of
Yes.
college medicine
Yeah.
into 3 months.
And well, we didn't really learn much medicine and stuff because we just did everything.
No, I mean like those are like some of those are degrees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like anatomy can be a degree. I have a degree in that. Like it.
Yeah.
Or it's an entire semester's worth of work in 3 months they're adding in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So a funny thing about that is they would teach us different things, and we'd have to learn about those things in a day and a half. So like, all right, you got to learn everything about the heart in 6 hours. We teach you everything about the heart in 3 hours. You study, you have an exam about it tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
And then you have to pass that exam to keep going. And during that time, you could only fail one. You were allowed one freebie to fail a test.
For the whole 3 months?
For the whole 3 months. One freebie.
Freebie.
Yes.
Out of how many tests?
I think there was like 23, 24.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so if anyone's listening and they're like thinking like college is hard, shut the fuck up.
No,
shut the fuck up right now.
And I tell you, during EMT school, I thought that was hard because the amount of nights that I would start, I'd get there at 7 a.m. because some of us would meet there early to review, go over notes and stuff like that, and then we'd stay after class. Class would end for us like at 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go home till 10. I would be walking in my house at 10 o'clock at night in my uniform still, with my books in my hand, studying still from what I learned.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I learned the pathway of the heart, like the blood flow of the heart.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes in a parking lot.
Tell me right now. Go.
Well, you can't put me on the spot like that, but
I mean, you're supposed to be an EMT. You're supposed to excuse me. I'm on the ground. I'm dying. Go.
Well, you can't. Well, you're choking there. So
no, I can't breathe. Like,
if I remember correctly, I think it's the right atrium. You go through the tricuspid valve. It goes to the right ventricle. Through there, it goes to the pulmonary arteries to the lungs. Comes back through.
Pull your mic a little bit closer.
Sorry. So it comes
or pull
back,
it to you if you need to. Yeah, move that bitch.
So
I want to
make sure. No, I'm all right. So, I gotta make sure I'm right on this one. But
damn mouse. Okay, so he knows it. He knows it. All right, move on.
Well, anyway, so and believe it or not, it was tough for me during that time because like,
all right, we can just wait. I don't know why we didn't do this.
What?
You want to look it up, like diagram?
Well, I know it's right to obviously it's right to left.
Of the heart breathing cycle. Boom, baby. Give me the breathe. Give me the breath. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so the way it goes, it's so
go.
The way it is, it's you start the blood flows from shit. So you can't put me on a spot like this, man, because now everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's lying."
Maybe you are lying.
So it comes from the vena cava, the superior vena cava,
okay,
into the right atrium. From the right atrium, it goes through the tricuspid valve.
Oh,
so the way
taking technical on me.
So the way I learned the valves, the bicuspid and tris.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I was in the fire academy with. He was a bodybuilder. He's like, you always work out your tris before your bis. So he always taught me that, and I was like, okay, I don't know where this is going.
He's like, I do.
He's like, I was like, I don't know where this is going. And he's like, yeah, because the blood flow goes through the right atrium, through the tricuspid valve, into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, goes through the pulmonary artery to the lungs. And it comes back through into the left atrium, which goes through the, I want to say it's bicuspid valve. I think that's what it's called.
Listen, you know more than me, so you're doing great.
So it goes
for
to
starters. don't act like you. I put you on the spot, but like you know your shit. I mean, I don't know any of it, so it's not like we're sitting here and I'm like telling you what's right and wrong, having no background.
Yeah. So then it goes through it goes to the left atrium, and then it goes down to the left ventricle, and then from there it gets, it goes back out to the body.
Right.
And that's just all in just one heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
So learning that in
body's crazy.
In EMT school, I was just like, so it's doing it right now. And they're like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the body's crazy.
Anyway, but you learn everything about just the human body and stuff. You learn about the digestive system, injuries and all that different types of stuff, how to just everything.
So what did they do hands-on practice?
Yeah.
And how did they do this hands-on practice?
So it was mainly more of like just, find a partner and, and then
partner?
and you'd partner up with somebody in the class and, because it was such a big group, it was like 36 of us in that class.
Okay.
So it would separate us into smaller groups. And then from there you find a partner. And then you like, okay, here's a scenario, blah, 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 blah. You and your partner have to save that person. So then you walk through scenarios and do what you have to do. And then at the end, they critique you. Like, okay, you did this right. You did this wrong. Here's what we think you can improve on this, this, and this. I think one of the cool things I think it was cool and weird at the same time, was learning how to assist on delivering birth. And
I never thought EMTs have to do that, but that makes sense. You can't go to the hospital, call 911.
Yeah,
they gotta get there.
So I was like, this is more of like a paramedic thing, right? They're like, well, in some cases, you might need to help them. So just learning everything about that aspect was pretty cool, I guess, but weird at the same time. And I think what helped a lot through EMT school was that you had those 3 months, or kind of like 2.5 months, to learn everything, and then they threw you out. They're like, all right, go ahead. You're gonna go do clinicals at hospitals with nurses, and you're gonna go to random fire department.
So you did like legit hands-on,
like
training.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you do like a month internship, quote unquote.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they don't call it that, but like that's basically what it is. You call it clinicals, you said?
Yeah, clinicals. Externships is what they call them.
Externships?
Is it internship? I don't know. Either one, internships or externships. I don't know.
That's very fancy. It's a very fancy medical term.
Not really.
You schmucks got internships. We got externships. That's right. Because we're external. We're out in the field. Oh, that makes sense if that's legit. I have no idea. That makes sense. It's like they're not inside the building. They're out doing shit, man.
So we'd have to go with preceptors.
Hacks.
With like nurses from different hospitals, or with any firefighter around in the county.
Yeah.
So I did clinicals with Pinellas Park Fire Department, Seminole, and I think I was with Lellman, and then I went to do my clinicals at St. Pete General. I did all 4 of them there. We had to do 4 each. So we had to do 4 clinicals at a hospital, and then we had to do 4 clinicals with 4 different people. It could be with the same people, or it could be 4 different people.
But with a fire department.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think the coolest, I mean, it's hard. I can't say it was coolest, but for me, as far as like learning experience, because you go to every call and it's it sucks because you have to treat somebody. And, it's a life
or death situation.
So it's a life or death, and I think it was cool in a way as far as like learning experience for myself, because in class, all the instructors were either firefighters or nurses, or used to be working for the working, but they're retired. They're like, oh yeah, you'd see overdoses, or you see guts, coming out, all that stuff. So I found that cool. I found that like
intriguing.
Like, this is pretty cool.
You like
it sucks for the person that we had to
but
save.
You enjoyed like being able to help that person
exactly.
and stuff. Right. You like that aspect.
Like they're like, you're going to see blood. You're going to see, shit, blood, vomit, everything. And I thought of it all intriguing. So it's like, this is pretty fascinating. This is what I signed up for, You didn't sign up just to see like a paper cut on somebody or a scab on somebody and be like, all right, here's a Band-Aid. Go ahead for the rest of your day. You want to see the real thing. I think the most intriguing, fascinating call that I went to, I was with Seminole Fire Department, and we worked an overdose. Okay. It was my last clinical shift with the instructor, and it was the last call of the day. So I went to a fire station from like 8, like from their 7:30 to like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it was like the last call. We were having dinner at the fire station, and it was like unconscious person. So I went there. Went to inside, and I know we can't speak much about it due to HIPAA and stuff, but it was an unconscious person. We walk into the house, find a patient in there, overdose. There was in the bathroom, and when you're there doing calls, it's you don't think, you just do it.
Yeah, just react.
It's just
it's second nature. Just so boom, boom,
like,
boom. Adrenaline's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're just moving.
So I walked in with the paramedic, and he's like, "All right, it's an overdose. It's an overdose." So he was like, "Give me the Narcan. Give me the Narcan." And I didn't know where it was and stuff, but the paramedic behind I was precepting with, he was like, "Here you go. Here's this. All right, Fernando, you grab the patient. You and that paramedic drag him out to the living room.
Damn.
And start working on the patient." So that's what I did. And I was doing CPR, and it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me at all.
Yeah.
I was just in the zone.
In the zone.
Doing everything. I was bagging
that
the
muscle
patient.
memory in a
I
sense.
was bagging the patient, doing compressions, and then 2 minutes later, I was bagging the patient. Next thing you know, woke up like nothing.
Damn,
And
that's crazy.
it freaked, and then that's when it hit me. Like, oh my god, I just saved this person's life.
Yeah,
kind of in a
for
way.
real.
I didn't do it. Narcan did it, but I worked in a way to help that patient.
Yeah.
So just seeing that, it's unfortunate that you
absolutely.
overdoses and stuff, and I'm not wishing that to see an overdose every
No,
day.
no, I can tell that. You don't.
It's
but you're
intriguing to learn that kind of thing because like. Everybody's like, oh, I did CPR on this person, or I did this on this other person, or we helped intubate this person, blah blah blah, so on, so on, so on. And with me, it was like, I just, I had this person fall, or a simple scratch or something in the eye, nothing too gruesome, to share. And then when I
last one was your day.
I was like, holy shit, this is what I'm going to be seeing.
Potentially
3 days out of the week,
but
not saying it's going to happen, but not saying that it won't happen. It's just I'm going to be seeing it, in the future.
Yes.
So I think just going through the EMT school part of it, it made me love what I wanted to do even more, because like even though you did an overdose, or even though some person fell and you put a brace or something on them,
right
in some sort, you can see it, I guess getting that feeling of like, okay, I did something to help this person out. It kind of gives you kind of satisfied, like I did something for this person, not knowing who they are, whatever they are, not knowing who they were, not even knowing whatever whatsoever. Just doing that, it felt kind of rewarding. I was like, damn, like this person just had an overdose, and me and we just brought this person back to life. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And like I said, that was 3 months EMT school.
Do you go? So that's EMT school. Then did you go to fire school next?
So yeah. So once you passed EMT school,
fire academy, I should say.
It was the fire academy. So we did the final exam. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I went home. I was done. It was like a morning exam. Everybody was done by like 11, 12.
Are you talking about the fire academy?
No, EMT school.
Okay.
Yeah. So before to go to fire academy, the school makes you take a final exam.
Of course,
with them
I would
in order to go to the next step.
And have that. Do you also get your EMT certification?
Excuse me. Yeah, yeah. So once you pass that final exam through the college,
right,
it's like a ticket. Like, here you go. Now you go take the national registry exam.
Okay.
So and then from there, you don't really need to take it now before you go to fire school, because EMT school and fire academy were like a weekend apart.
Right.
So like I finished EMT school a Thursday, and I started the fire academy that following Monday.
Okay.
So anyway, when I went to the last day of EMT school, we had our final exam. I think it was like 100 questions. Excuse me. And it was probably the most scariest day for me to do it, to go take a test, because this is do or die.
Yeah,
like, this is like either I make it or I don't. But those amount of days that I stayed late studying, I'd come home from EMT school, literally just eat food and lock myself in my room and just study for the rest of the night.
I mean, that is what you kind of have to do in those situations. Yeah. Like, there's do or die moments in your type of school, in trade school, in vet school, in college, even in my business classes, like where you have these times where it's like, I got to do good. It's do or fucking die. Yeah. And like, I don't know, some people perform almost better in that, cheers to that, bro. Brother. You're gonna fucking drink that. Oh yeah, was that good?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's rough,
but it's rough. It's rough. Yeah, we definitely need some soda in these bad boys. But you know what? It's all good. One more. Let's one more before we yeah.
Why not?
I do that to make it not so bad. It makes it nicer. But studying is like, it's something you have to learn to be good at. It's hard to be like, I'm good at studying, and like weird. Now there are people that are just naturally good. I've seen people that are just like, they just get shit and they study for like, they can study the night before for literally like an anatomy test with 100 different bones and they're fine. It's like, how the hell do you do that? But majority of us normal people, including myself,
Yeah.
like I have to take time to study. I have to like, and it took me a while to find out that routine that like this is what works for me, and I just did that and hammered it every time. So how did you figure that out in that small amount of time frame?
I think it was just something I really loved doing, learning.
Okay, now that's another topic
So-
that fucking is true to a T. When you fucking love something, how much easier that shit
Yeah.
gets to learn is unfucking believable.
I think now I suck at studying. I'll be honest with you. I hated studying. I
Right,
sucked at it. If I had to do it, I had to force myself to do it. So be it. But I think with this, it was a career that I wanted to do, and every day that I went, even though I was tired and stressed out, it was intriguing in a way. So
Oh, dude,
it was
that makes it 1,000 times
So-
easier because you're into it.
so
When
like
you're into something,
yeah.
you're like, I could do this all damn day.
right.
Like, it just this is how it is. Like that's how. That's how people should start positioning their lives is like, oh, I really like this. I should just put all my time and effort into this because I like it so much. It's not like when you like something that much, think of like you're going to outwork everybody else in that field that is about it. Like, like, no, I love it. You can't beat me when I'm loving it 24 hours a day and you're only doing it because you have to for 8, you know?
Well, here's the thing, because when you're in there, yeah, they're your classmates, they're your friends. But at the same time, you're competing with them to get a job at the end of the day. So I think for me, studying was like, yeah, I loved what I studied and loved what I did, learning. But at the same time, I knew in the back of my head, I have to work twice as hard as the kid next to me, twice as hard as the person to the left of me, because I know at the end of the day, if we pass everything, and, you know, we were rooting all for each other, at the end of the day, we're going to meet each other at what fire department competing for that one spot that's open.
Oh,
so I think that's what even made me even more want it more, learn it more.
Interesting,
and made me want to stay longer after class.
Yeah,
because I wanted to show that
I fucking got this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and then anyway, so we did the final. We studied. I studied every night for it, and I think that day that I took the final exam, I was scared out of my fucking mind. I was nervous.
Do you have any testing anxiety or anything?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do to cope with testing anxiety? Because that's something that's like it can be crippling for some people. It can literally be like, I know everything, and then I get into the test and I know nothing.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's a yin and yang to it. I think some people don't prepare well enough. They think they've prepared enough, right?
Yeah.
And then they get in there and they're like, they look at the first one, they're like, fuck, I don't know the first one. And they're like, oh god, I don't know any of them.
That's the thing though, because like you don't want to over prepare yourself. You don't want to be over too confident or too cocky, because that's how I did sometimes with my exams previously. I was too cocky. I was like, oh, I got this, no problem at all. I studied blah blah blah, and then it comes to it, and it's like, oh shit. I think with me, I just try to keep it. I try to keep it simple. I try to learn whatever I knew. Whatever I didn't, I did the best I could, as everybody would else, to solve the problem as simple as possible as I could in my terms.
Right.
Now, EMT school exams are different as like math exams. Math, they teach you one subject at a time. These exams were like, okay, here's 4 different chapters. Okay. You get a slap in the face. Here's an exam about those 4 different chapters.
So was your finals on everything, basically?
Pretty much.
3 months
my final was pretty much from the first day that I started to the last.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, that's how a lot of finals are. And I want to go back to the testing anxiety though, because like, again, I think that's a big issue. So like for you so much, you were saying that you did what exactly?
So what I did is for like, when there is an exam, for me personally, I know what to study and what not to study. So if this exam is going to be, okay, this exam is going to be about point A, point B, point C, but we studied about point A through E, I'm not studying about the other stuff. I'm studying what's simply, and I think that's what everybody did, is just study those things, but I wouldn't over exaggerate. I wouldn't over stress about it. I'd just be like, all right, these were the key points that my teacher or my instructor taught me what to learn about more, or like, hey, through lectures, they'd be like, hey.
So you paid attention in class or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. What are the concepts? I mean,
yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
No. I don't mean it like that. I mean it in a sense more so like, there's so many people that I also know that are like, oh, I did bad on this test and I studied so hard. Yeah. And it's like, in teachers, the study, there was nothing that wasn't the same. And I'm like, did you go to class? No. Yeah. Well, then maybe that's a fucking issue. Yeah. Like,
well, I think because like even with like college and stuff, when I went through college and stuff, that was me. I was like that. I was like, I didn't go to class.
So was I.
I didn't study
Here
for
we
this.
are.
I was just like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna do the best I can and call it a day.
Yeah.
I think just getting applied with pressure at the beginning, where it's like, all right, you have one freebie and you have this amount of tests. Don't fuck up. And it's like, if you don't pass this, you're not going to the next round.
Are you one of those people that's like, I got one freebie, I'll just relax on the first one? Or are you like, nah, I need that fucking bitch till the final?
Exactly. Yeah,
That's how I am.
That's how I am.
That's how I am. I know motherfuckers too that are like, they're like, I got one free exam, like, and they just like blow it on the first one, and I'm like, you're risking it all. Like, you get one more bad grade, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Listen, if anyone's fucking listening, they take one goddamn piece of advice is that if you're in a class and they tell you they got one exam they're taking away, you fucking make sure that's the last goddamn exam you need. You get all A's on all of them at the beginning. And because most likely your classes are going to build off the shit you learned at the beginning. So start fucking strong, and you can end weak. But if you start strong, generally speaking, it's harder for your grade to drop. It's way harder for you to bring your grade up than it is for it to like drop drastically down.
But yeah, you're right, you're right on the dot with that. But also, I think there was the competitiveness in that classroom as well, because the instructors, they're full-time firefighters anywhere. So they're like, okay, this kid's smart. This kid knows what he's doing. This other kid, he's smart, but,
not applying himself.
Exactly.
Not putting that effort in.
So I think that's what even made me even more, push myself even more to where I wanted to be. Like, to be like one of the best students. Now, was I the best? No. But was I the worst? No. But I was up there. And the one thing I learned is that, and one instructor told me was that, when doctors go to, medical school and stuff, it doesn't matter if you're an A+ doctor or a C+ doctor. At the end of the day, you're still a doctor. So and
you aren't wrong.
and I took that. I was like, oh shit, okay. He's like, don't be that C+ doctor. Try to be that A+ doctor.
Yeah. Shoot for the stars.
Shoot for
it
the
happens
stars,
to happen. Yeah. Okay. Agree with that. Yeah. No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. You giving it your all.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's some people out there that don't like. They just get it. Like they just. I knew kids that like studying to be a doctor, and then they're like, they can smoke every night. And I'm not talking like oh, let me just take a hit. Like I'm talking like like just like huffing and puffing, and you're like like you look at them and you're like, how do you do this and wake up and go to an exam the next day and get an A? Or I know, or go out drinking and wake up next morning and get an A. I can't physically do that. If I did that, my grades would just be like dropping like the stock market. Like just
Well, I didn't get to experience that. I didn't get to experience that college life per se.
But it's relatable is all I'm saying.
I get you. But yeah, I mean, shit, it was like, doesn't matter what you get on the final exam. If you pass, you pass. Like, it's like, when EMT school, you pass the final exam, doesn't matter if you get 100% or an 83%. You're still an EMT because you passed.
Right.
Now, granted, you got 83% of the test right, but you're still an EMT, but you still got more work to do. And fun fact, that's what I got, an 83 on.
Forgot the heart.
I got an 83.
You forgot about the heart.
Yeah. Oh, the heart. Yeah. Well, I mean,
you forgot what was you forgot what was the
I
heart.
need a little bit more study. You can't put me in the spot like that.
Man's dying on the floor.
Oh well,
heart gushing. What's wrong with it? And Fernando was like, "Let me pull my phone out." The Arnold Palmer of the right ventricle.
Man, it's been a while since I was in EMT school.
It is, yeah, true.
Anyway, so I passed EMT school. Pushed all that stuff to the side. I passed EMT school. Now I was like, shit, I'm excited. I'm going to fire academy. This is gonna be fucking great. I'm excited. The first week, EMT school, I didn't know how hard it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be hard physically and mentally. But when I got there, I was like, it hit me like a slap in the face. Like
okay, so what? I want to know the physical side of it more so than anything else. I want to know what you guys did.
All right, so on a regular day, the first week, it's more of like a orientation week. You get to learn, your instructors. You go to a different campus for a week inside a classroom. You don't do anything. You don't do anything physical. You don't do anything crazy. You just do like the first 2-3 chapters. And Fire Academy was just the same thing as EMT school. Fire Academy, you learned a chapter one day. The next morning, you had the exam on that chapter.
That's so crazy to me.
And there was 24 chapters.
Because it's like just straight like memorization and regurgitation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's my mic. Yeah. Regurgitation.
Yeah. So, and it was 24 chapters. So this book was probably like at least 500 pages. I think we went through the page from the first page to the very end. And it was hard mentally just because like you're getting hit with everything. One chapter you learn about ladders, and ladders simply. Oh, what's so hard about ladders? You're just extending it, but it's the mechanics on how you do it, the type of ladders that you use. It was just to detail. It was so meticulous. The whole the lecture and everything was just so specific. And then it's like the next morning, all right, here you go. Here's an exam on it. Good luck. You cannot fail. You had to get an 80. So those exams were 20 questions, which is so you miss 5, you fail.
You're done. Yeah.
And same thing with the fire academy. Is like you were allowed to fail 1. After that, if you fail the second one, you're out. No ifs, buts, and buts about it. You're done. Like you're out.
And can you come back next year?
You can come back next year, right?
You have to wait a whole year though.
You have to wait for that semester to end, and then they put you kind of like.
So basically, 3 months you have to wait.
Exactly. So I went through, and they gave you a whole schedule of what it's gonna be like. And there was days where like, okay, Monday, you learn. It's the first day of school. You learn of everybody. The next day, chapter 2. Here you go. This is this. Blah 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 blah. The third day of school, the third day of your fire academy school, you thought it was gonna be a nice, easy orientation. No, here's your first exam. Good luck. You pass it, so on and so on. And it was like that every day. And I think that was tough on me mentally because once that first week of orientation week in the fire academy, like sitting in a classroom, not doing anything physical, like just chilling, learning about it was kind of like regular class.
Yeah.
So after that second week, that was more of like, all right, week 2 to week 13, it's on. So the routine I had was I'd wake up at 5:30 in the morning or 5 a.m. in the morning every day.
Okay.
Wake up, get my uniform ready. PT clothes ready. I'd show up to school in PT clothes. So I get to school, I get to the campus or to the training center around like 6:15 every morning. It was always 6:15 or 6:10. The earlier the better because like I said, you're competing with all the other students. So the early bird, like that saying, early bird gets the worm, so on and so on and so on. It gives you more time to prepare. So I get there 6:10, 6:15. We had our bunker gear and stuff. They give us bunker gear and stuff like your helmet, your air tanks and all that stuff.
How much does all that weigh?
So,
like what? Like
30,
50 pounds?
Probably like 60 pounds.
60 pounds?
Yeah.
All right.
So, and that's just the bunker gear. That's not like there are some courses where like, all right, you have to go up 7 flights of stairs, but you have to carry 100 foot of hose.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't make you do that.
So, we weighed ourselves. I started the academy like at, I want to say 190. By the time I graduated, I was 175.
So, guys, if you want to lose weight, become a fireman.
I was like 175, 180, but I was just like built in muscle, I guess. I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the buffest kid, but I wasn't the weakest kid. I was, you know, from my body.
You're feeling good, looking good.
I feel good.
Looking good, feeling good.
And
looking good.
I'm all right.
Yeah,
I mean,
slap my own ass. I look good.
I mean, it's not fat, but it's there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 6:10, 6:15, you get there, walk in, you put your lunch in the fridge, your lunch for the day and all that
Great
stuff.
detail right there.
All
Love
right,
it.
my bad. You gotta eat, bro. You gotta
know where that tuna sandwich is, motherfucker.
You gotta eat. So
now when I go to the fire academy, I'm going rip for the fucking food because I know where it is.
Go for it. So I'd leave my food in the fridge or whatever the cafeteria that we had there, and we go to the.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
You left it there? Just sit all day?
Sorry,
God damn it!
So we go and
I ain't gonna believe this.
So we had showers there at the training center. So we'd leave all our uniforms and all of our clothes and bags. Every day I'd carry, I'd always bring a towel, like
I'm gonna interrupt you. Give me the lowdown of what you're doing every day, physically speaking. Like, what are the physical things that they're making you do in the fire academy that are, the grinding,
right.
mentally tough stuff that they're making you do?
Every morning, when you get there, you have an exam.
Okay.
Every morning at 7:30. All right, let's go outside, do the flag, Pledge of Allegiance, so on and so on. Go inside.
That brainwash. Okay.
Take the quiz.
Don't say.
Anyway, you go in, you take the quiz for the chapter the day before.
I'm glad you understood that was a joke. I mean, there's some truth to it. Maybe not.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag.
Yeah, it was every morning.
Yeah, you
every
guys
morning.
know it.
Yeah,
motherfucker. You're brainwashed. Okay.
Moving on. Anyway, I didn't say that. So every morning we'd had a quiz on the chapter that we studied the day before.
Right.
So we do the quiz, 10, 15 minutes, you're done. You'd go outside, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, go back inside. Okay, you passed, everybody cool. 7:45 in the morning, 7:50, we're doing PT. PT was consisting of push-ups, sit-ups, and running. It's kind of military-based, kind of the same thing as military.
Okay.
So some days, different instructors would be like, all right, we're doing nothing but cardio. Okay, we're doing nothing but legs. Okay, we're going to do upper body. We're going to do this. We're going to do we had an obstacle course there. Kind of like military.
Worst day.
Worst day?
Where's PT day? You come in, they're like, we're going to do this today. And you're like, the whole class is going,
There was one instructor. He was the youngest. And he'd make us go up the stairs. It was nothing but cardio. And
stairs are rough. I remember doing that shit for baseball and stuff. Like it just working your legs.
Yeah.
You're breathing heavy, and it's physically your legs are getting tired.
Oh yeah.
Bleachers. We used to do bleachers back in the day.
I love the guy. He's great. He would make us do a whole lap around the whole campus, the training center.
That's not too bad.
Going up 7 flights of stairs.
Okay, that's a little worse.
Going back down the flight of stairs, doing it until he says to stop. So we would do it like 5 laps.
You got like a circle going
of that. And after that, you think you'd be done. Like, all right, let's do this now. And would do nothing but cardio, like run around. We'd carry.
So worst day by far, cardio day.
Cardio,
saying.
yeah. Well, I'm not a big fan of cardio, but
not many people are. I don't think you're wrong about that.
I understand why they made us do it like that.
What's the most they ever made you run? Mile wise is what I'm talking about. If you could put a time, if you could put an idea on it, it could be what you just told us about the running around the building and then the stairs. That's pretty fucking rough.
Time wise, I think 45 minutes straight doing it.
Wow, dude, you probably on a couple miles doing that, no doubt.
At least 5, maybe. No, I may be over exaggerating, but
that'd be dope if you could do 5. I don't know what we used to have to run the 6 mile. We used to run 6 miles for baseball practice.
Yeah. Well, I
did
track in high school, and I was a long distance runner. But anyway,
6 miles, like god damn it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right, sprints or long run?
Both.
Which is worse in your mind?
Sprints or long? I'd say sprints. Just because you're okay. It's long distance. It's like your own pace, kind of. Sprints, it's like, okay, you have to go with everybody as a group. It's like a speed round kind of thing. And I think you get more tired.
I think you get more tired quicker, and your body gets more exhausted quicker. So it's more physically draining.
Yeah.
But running long distance is just so mentally like frustrating and so mentally like exhausting.
Yeah.
Put your goddamn phone away. Bitch.
Hey, my bad.
I'm gonna end this bitch right here, right now. Hey, you guys gonna witness me beat somebody on camera for the first time.
But no, yeah, I mean, and PT wasn't the worst part of it. I think it was like
we were just talking about running.
Yeah, well, I know that, but I'm saying like PT, that was just only like a 45, 50-minute thing.
Okay.
So there was days where like, all right, like you're gonna learn about ladders one day. You're going to go outside and do everything that one day. You're going to learn how to carry that 24 or 35-foot ladder by yourself or with a partner.
Put it up, climb back down.
And with the bunker gear on, doing that in the hot-ass heat in March, April, May, and June, they're like pretty much one of like the hottest months of the year.
Florida heat.
Yeah. And the humidity.
People got to know that. Florida heat.
It fucking killed you. And it may not sound hard for the big, bulky guys, but it was...
I'm sure they were sweating their ass off too, though.
It was just endurance-wise and stamina-wise, it was killing you.
What are you doing to stay hydrated during this time? Are you doing extra shit? Are you doing
no, I didn't go to the gym. When I was in the fire academy, on the weekends I'd run. That's all I did was just
No, I know that. I'm asking hydration. I said.
Just water.
You're just drinking a shit ton of water all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
In the fire academy, obviously they're not going to make you, drain you or kill you or anything like that. They have water stations and like where you can refill. They give you breaks and like here's a 10-minute break. Go get some water.
Did you notice a difference because you're drinking so much water? Did you know a difference in your energy levels? I'm curious.
What do you mean? Like as far as like having more energy or just...
Yeah, like you're drinking more water and less soda and sugary drinks, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Generally speaking, I know I would be.
I would say as far as like my food habits throughout those 3 months in the academy it made me, I wouldn't say
we weren't able to go out to eat
exactly
much. So you're eating homemade, healthier meals. Probably.
I only ate 4 things throughout the Fire Academy, and it's bad for me to say it, but 5 things mainly. It was rice, pasta, chicken, beef, and oranges.
I mean, to be straight honest with you, like those things alone are be like a great diet, especially if they're cooked right. And then not only that, you can also do those exact same things to bulk. Maybe besides oranges, like you can use that exact same shit in bulk with.
I use the oranges just because it was another source of like liquid.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So I'd go through at least 2 bags or like a whole bag of like those
little halos, little cuties,
little halos. A whole bag 1 week.
Those things are so cool.
So every week I'd finish a whole bag by myself. Soda was not existent during those 3 months.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking here is you've cut out soda for the 3 months, right? Or essentially. But then like you're drinking just a shit ton of water. Like can you recall a significant like anything different? Everybody's different, but I know with like me personally, if I start drinking more water and I'm hydrating myself more than I normally do, I feel better throughout the day. Yeah. Like my entire I'm no longer dragging in the afternoon. I'm no longer like about to fall asleep driving home from work. Like it's fucking insane. Yeah. Like the difference it does for me.
It is, but I think what
clear skin, flawless like a baby.
I think what changed the drinking soda making me lazier or tired or like just not wanting to do anything.
Okay.
It got substituted by the physical strains I went through in the Fire Academy. So like the physical part of it, it like literally substituted what I was drinking soda or eating snacks. That's what it substituted. So like even though I'd drink a soda and I'd be lazy or tired, but doing the physical stuff of it.
Oh, so you're saying like I might have a soda still, but I was just working out so much and it worked it out. Yeah, okay.
So it was kind of even.
I mean that's a fact too. It definitely can.
But yeah I mean. I felt physically like throughout those 3 months just drinking water, and I drink Gatorade, but mainly water.
Yeah, Gatorade got the electrolytes. That shit's good for you. Well, good in that sense.
I felt better. I felt clean. I felt more like healthier in a way, and I wasn't realizing it because
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because like on the weekends, on the weekday, like at the end of the week, like on Fridays, my parents would buy takeout food, like pizza or whatever, Chinese food, whatever. And I always joke around with everybody, and I said I could eat a whole pizza box by myself in like 10 minutes. Now, or when I was going through the academy, I couldn't have one slice because I felt sick.
Yeah, because your body's like not.
I was just so
with
used
it,
to just eating the 5 simple things that I lived with those 3 months. I was like in survival mode. So even though I had everything, all the food in the house that I could eat, I chose not to because I knew that if I broke it, it was going to be hard for me to get back through it.
Right.
So like on the weekends, did I have a cup of soda? Of course, just to refresh myself.
Of course, yeah, I do that too.
But I knew that Sunday after 12 o'clock on Sunday p.m.
12 p.m. Whoa, stopping the soda at noon.
I have to like physically prepare myself for the next day.
I should definitely start doing that because I definitely still drink until like 8 o'clock at night and I don't sleep and my whole sleep cycle is fucked up too.
But yeah, I mean, it was those 3 months. It was fun and it was brutal. I think I almost broke my neck, and I almost had a herniated disc in my back when I graduated.
Wow,
I almost did.
So definitely very physically enduring.
My knees, I had like probably the size of my phone scabs on my knees from so much crawling. Because in the fire, when
you sure you weren't trying to pass?
No, I was trying to pass.
Trying to pass the class?
Oh, I was, dude. I was, because dude, I wasn't the biggest, strongest kid. But I was skinny. I was like scrawny. But those first 2-3 weeks with the bunker gear and stuff, no one could do it. Like now, like towards the end of the Fire Academy, dude, I could put everything, go up, run a mile, perfectly fine. Like I'm used to the weight now. It was getting used to it, adjusting myself to everything. Now did I pass the academy successfully? Was I perfect in everything? No, absolutely not. To think of it, I want to be a firefighter, but yet I'm afraid of heights and I'm claustrophobic.
So how do you, someone who's afraid of heights and claustrophobic, come about facing those fears for that dream job of being a fireman? What is how did that go? You're at the fire academy and you're up in a building, you're doing all this shit. How did that go where you're like, I'm not going to let that phobia or fear conquer me? And talk to me about how that mentally goes. Like, how did that affect you mentally, and like, what did you do to overcome that? Mentally speaking,
I think to overcome it, I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to do this regardless whether I like it or not.
Fuck yeah. All right.
And was I scared out of my dear life going up 24?
I'm sure.
I was fucking petrified. I was terrified. They called me, one of the nicknames that I had in the fire academy was the jackhammer, because every time I go up a ladder, 24 foot up in the air in the ladder, I was shaking so hard.
The ladder's like about to fall over. You're like,
yeah. So, and one instructor pulled me over and he was like, "You okay?" I'm like, because he's like, "Be honest, you're afraid of heights, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're claustrophobic as well, I'm assuming." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's fine."
Called your ass out.
And he called me out. And I think it was a good call out, because it was kind of like a motivation. He's like, he was like,
okay.
He's like, it's okay to be scared. You're fine. You can be scared. Like, I'm afraid of heights. And he confessed. He's like, I'm afraid of heights. But I know that if your mom's up there on that second floor and you have to climb up that 24-foot ladder, you can't explain to your mom while the house is on fire, while she's up there waiting for you. "Oh, I'm afraid of heights. I can't do it." It's more of like, you got to face it and just do it.
You gotta use that adrenaline
Exactly.
and fear,
exactly,
in a sense, to your advantage.
So
I'm gonna pause you there.
Yeah, you're
I'm gonna
good.
pause you there because I want to dive into that a little bit. So you're afraid of heights, and he gives you this tidbit of like, imagine your mom's up there, and like, that's kind of how you started to come about it. Where you're like, my mom's up there, like I love my family, I love my mom, like I got fucking up there.
Exactly.
And would you was that advice you would give to people? Was like, whatever your fear is, kind of put yourself in that situation of like in a sense, put yourself in a situation of do or die.
Yeah.
What would you do in that scenario? And then you're like, oh, well, obviously I would do that. And you're like, okay, then fucking just do it now.
Well,
like, there's no difference.
I think everybody's different on the way they face their fears.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I'm claustrophobic. Like, fun fact, I hate elevators. So that's where the claustrophobia comes in. And I think it's just me, like, okay, all my friends are in this elevator with me. Like, I have to,
Elevators could be scary though, because it's like one snap away from just falling, dude.
So with me personally, it's like more of like, okay, you can't chicken out now, because you chose this you chose this career. So you're gonna have to face these challenges and these fears one way or another. They're not gonna run away. You're not gonna be able to run away from them. Every day we were out there on high elevation, going on ladders, going in teaching us claustrophobic spaces, like going through mazes and stuff in like 3x5 square, or not 3x5, but small spaces. And they're like, and it was mental warfare for me throughout those times, because I knew it was hard for me. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I did it once. I'm alive. I'm okay. Nothing happened. So I think me getting that satisfaction, like, okay, I did it yesterday, I can do it today.
Yes.
So,
conquering that fear. I mean, let's dive into that a little bit here with that idea of like, you put yourself out there into an uncomfortable zone.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that. Is like getting yourself out of your comfort zone and being in those areas and those situations where you're uncomfortable, because it helps build you up as a person.
Yeah, exactly.
And it builds your character. Dive into this thought here. Like it is important for people to step out of their comfort zones that they're in, because it's very easy to build up those walls and just be like, I'm here, I'm gonna stay here, and it's so nice and so pretty here, and then but you gotta push past it, because you don't know the possibility of what's on the other side. It doesn't necessarily. We're talking about, in your sense, being afraid of heights, but there's so many other things, whether it's anxiety or social anxiety, whatever. Right. But there's so many things out there that you gotta work and push past and push past that shit, because on the other side of it, it could be 10 times greener on the other side. Right. But if you can stay in that comfort zone, you're never gonna be able to experience newer things.
Exactly. I think for me was the tasks that I had to do in the academy. Once I passed those, even if I had to deal with me being afraid of heights, or me being claustrophobic as fuck, and being in limited space, or just climbing on the ladders, once I accomplished it, I was so proud of myself. I was like, holy shit, I just went up a 24-foot ladder with all my bunker gear on. Was I scared? Yes, but I got it done. And maybe it was less fearful than it was the day before, but I knew that even though I was still afraid of heights, I knew that I could fight with it.
Yeah,
and it was so rewarding. Mm-hmm. It was so rewarding, because I was
exactly what I was about to say.
I was like, damn, I fucking did it yesterday. I can do it again today. And that's how I kept going, by just baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And, you know, at the end of the day, I was going up those ladders by myself like nothing. Like if it was like, if I could read the back of my hand, it was just nothing. Going up. I was able to go through the classroom, like through the confined spaces that we went through the fire academy, like nothing. Sure, granted enough that I freak out a couple of times, absolutely. But
yeah, I mean, it's natural a little bit. It's not like if you just beat it once, you're automatically cured with anything. Like you're not just like done with it. Like no, like you got to keep doing it until it becomes that second nature where you're like, okay, I'm no longer. I don't even think about it anymore. Like it's. Yeah, I mean, I forgot what my thought was. To be honest with you, but like it is. Oh no, that's what it was. I would say is it's so liberating to accomplish those goals that you want to accomplish, whatever they are, may be small, big or small. When you accomplish those small goals, like you just feel so energized about it. Like you're and when you conquer something you're scared of, and you say, "I'm fucking doing it again. I'm in my comfort zone. I'm doing this." Like you feel so liberated from the fact that you're now no longer like chained by that. You're like, I'm fucking free, baby. Like you're probably like, I can climb the Empire State Building. Like I don't give a fuck. Like
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but it's just,
you could do it.
It was just learning those. It was just getting even just the motivation of just getting called out by the instructors. Like, oh, like gave me motivation, gave me fire to like, okay, I gotta fucking do this whether I like it or not. I'm gonna have to go into this confined space and get out to the other side. One way or another, I have to do it. There was
that mindset, dude, can carry you so far in life. It's ridiculous. Like I mean, think about it. The idea of like, I just got to do this right now, and I just got to get this through this, get this down, and just keep doing it. I mean, think about anything you want to accomplish in life. Anything. Yeah. You want to buy a house.
Right.
Okay, you need $30,000 for the down payment, whatever. And you're like, fuck it, I got to do whatever I got to do to get the house. And you're going to do that. Or, you know, I want to save up X amount of money and get that money. It's the same situation I just fucking described. Yeah. But, like, it literally can do anything with that mindset. I want to start a brand. I want to start my own business.
Right.
Like, with that mindset of, like, I'm going to do it no matter what, it's crucial in life because without it, you're just kind of going through the motions. You'll never have that freedom you might look for in other things. But, like, having that idea of I have to do this no matter what. Right. Like that desperation feeling can almost propel you forward. Right. And not saying you want to be in a desperate situation, but there are times where like that might be needed. Like you might be so in your comfort zone that it's like maybe you needed to quit your job or something terrible to happen. And I don't mean that that's good, but like sometimes those situations propel you forward. Right. And you look back on them and you're like, damn, like I wouldn't be here without that X, Y, Z terrible thing, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what I went through myself. I was just like, it's either do or die. It's either you do it or you just take a walk. And
I mean, essentially it was, I either pass this or I don't get to be a fireman.
So that was like, so that was for me. Right. So it was like, fuck it, I'm going to have to do this. Whether I'm scared or not, I have to conquer this one way or another. And it was, I went through it. Was I scared? Yeah, but I overcame it the best that I could. Everybody's different in their own way. Me personally, it was just like I practiced it at home. I think was one thing that I did.
Climb on your roof?
I climb on my roof.
Oh, that ass! I was just fucking around.
My dad had at his job he had a ladder an extended ladder, 24-foot. I was like, bring it with you one weekend, and one weekend he brought it. And I was practicing at home. And I think just feeling that comfort of being home in a safe environment it gave me more like motivation to like when I went that next day to school or when I went that Monday to school to do it again or to do that assignment or to do that physical test or whatever. It was just like, I did it at home. I was safe. I'm here. Fuck it. Let's do it. And believe it or not, at home, throughout the fire academy, they make you go through like a confined space, kind of like a maze kind of thing. Kind of like, like a McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, how they have like the little playgrounds. Same concept, same thing, but it was like a wooden box. So the wooden box would be like probably, I want to say like 3.5, 4 feet high. And then it was like maybe like 4 or 5 feet wide. And it's like, all right, call through here. You're going to exit out right over there. Good luck. And it was in the dark. So I think And I did that at home. Actually, I would cover myself at night. Like on the weekends, I put a blindfold on. Everything was dark in my house at nighttime, and I'd have my parents put me in one spot of the house, and they would, put things like chairs and stuff on the ground and like make like a little maze for me. And they're like, and I did that just so I could feel comfortable that way. I knew that I was comfortable at home in that safe space environment, knowing that nothing's gonna hurt me, so that when I went to do that assignment the following week or to do it again in the fire academy, I had that awareness of like, okay, nothing bad's gonna happen, nothing's gonna hurt.
It's like a confidence booster.
Exactly. So I went through it, did all that stuff, and every week was different. One week was ladders, one week was hose, one week was learning how to start, how to, put out, hose, like just shooting water out of hose, everything about the trucks, engines, just everything. It broke down everything by week, and believe it or not, the academy went by quick.
I'm sure
it went by so
you're so
fast.
in the zone at that point. It's like you just lose track of the days. The next thing it's over.
And then there was days where at the beginning of the academy, I was like, I don't want to do PT. I'm scared. Like I don't want to. Like I'm physically not ready, or like I'm not ready to put the bucket gear on, or I'm not used to it. Like I'm too tired. And then towards the end, I was like, we would challenge the instructors. We're like, all right, let's do a push-up contest. Or let's go for a run. Let's see who's faster, this. And it made it more fun. And I think it just mentally, physically, like just gaining and getting used to that, rigorous work. At the end, it was just like, I'm one of them, kind of, almost, in a sense. As far as like physicality-wise, I was like, I'm one of you guys. Let's fucking do a push-up contest. And I think that's the confidence that I had towards the end of the academy. Excuse me.
I want to go off on a tangent here. What is the competition like within the academy?
What do you mean? As far as like with students and stuff, or like?
Yes.
So,
because I think competition
PT
is a very big driving force.
We had an exam. We had a PT exam. How many push-ups you can do in 2 minutes? How many sit-ups you can do in 2 minutes? And how fast you can run a 2 mile run. It was like 10 laps of run, like the pond that they had there at the training center. So the competitiveness was like, okay, you finished the exam depending on your grade score. It was all military graded. So like the amount of push-ups you did for your age was you had to do this certain amount in 2 minutes. And then they do their own little grading scale and stuff like that. And they give you an overall grade A, B, C, D, or F, or if you failed, or not E, but F, if you failed or whatnot. And so they went through it, and the people that failed, they make them put their shirts inside out. So you'd be like, this guy is stronger as you, and you want to be the same guy you want to have the same position as him. So I think that's what gave us the competitiveness and stuff. But one thing that we learned was that you're competing with these guys to get a job and get hired, but the one thing they always told us is that you're the strongest as your weakest link. So you're strongest as your weakest. So,
right, because as long as you have to work together as a team when you're in the fire situation.
So you're competing for a job at the end of the day. You all might get hired in different departments, but at some point in the future, you're going to meet each other somewhere.
So how big of an impact do you think the competitiveness was for you?
It was big, because every day that you went to the academy, even though the instructors were all firefighters, it felt like an interview, kind of.
Okay.
So
like, I get what you're saying.
So like you went to the fire academy, and PT day, the instructors would show up while you're doing PT, and they just watch you. They just wouldn't stand, and they just be like, oh, okay, cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the whole day, whatever assignments you had to do, we're just going through like entanglement, or putting up a ladder, or preparing for your final exam.
What's entanglement?
Entanglement. So it's like it's kind of like a 10 12 feet distance, crawling distance, and there's just a bunch of wires and stuff. So it's like a scenario based kind of thing where like if
something's collapsed,
so the roof collapsed on top of you, and there's just a bunch of electrical wires and stuff. You just have to find your way to get through.
The tasers hanging? You're like in
no,
Jackass?
No,
so
the Jackass. No. They don't.
So you get a little zap when you're going.
I mean,
through,
it's a school, so they can't kill us.
Tasers don't kill you.
But yeah, it was kind of it's not pretty much that same. So entanglement meaning you're gonna get entangled with something.
Of course, right.
So you had to find your way to get out of it, use cutters and stuff, and find your way. And
makes sense.
So I think what made it even competitive for me, that helped me a lot, was that the one way one person put it was like, every day you go to school, think of it as an interview, because it was different instructors every day. Some instructors were from St. Pete. Some instructors were from Clearwater. Some instructors were from Seminole. Some instructors were from Sarasota. So it was like,
because they're watching you, because they might want you eventually
exactly.
on their
so
crew.
And not even that. It's that when you go for your interview, and I'm going ahead of myself, but when you go to interviews later on, once you pass the fire academy and stuff, it's like, okay, they'd ask you, what were your strengths and weaknesses in the academy? They already know. They just want to know if you're going to tell the truth or not. And
very interesting.
So like when you, let's say if,
do you think it's do you think it's that they want you to tell the truth, or do they want to see if you're self-aware enough to recognize where you need to have improvement?
Both.
Which one do you think it weighs more, though?
Improvement. But I would say truth.
You mean awareness?
Or like awareness, yeah.
Awareness of your flaw.
Okay. So think of it as like, because mainly most.
Whoa, we're not off this topic.
Okay. What do you mean?
Which one do you think it is? You said.
Oh, I said both, but mainly
right.
It'd be truth. Because
why do you think it's truth?
I mean, truth goes a long way.
It does, but what I'm looking
I think
at,
of it as the same thing. It's just I think being truthful about what your weaknesses were goes a long way, because then they know that.
Okay, so if someone said, for instance, this is a scenario I'm picking through my head.
Right.
Someone says, I don't know what my weaknesses are.
Yeah.
Is that an acceptable answer?
No, because they already know.
So then would self-awareness be more important?
Okay, yeah, it would.
Oh, that's all. I'm not trying to like say you're wrong. I'm just trying to get at this because like
so
this is something I'm intrigued at.
So wherever you apply for, as far as like fire academy goes, they're gonna ask everybody, how was he in this? How was he throughout the academy? What? So like, let's say you and we both.
Of course. I understand that the observers talk.
Yeah.
But for you
personally, I think
for a student in the academy, first off, this is not just for students in the academy. This goes for your job.
Right.
And you have performance reviews. They ask you, what do you think? What's going on? You know, blah, blah, blah. Like, they do that shit. What do you think's more is honesty or the fact that you know? I mean, you'll never, that's the thing for me is you'll never know if they're being honest or not.
Yeah.
Or you'd have an idea if you, obviously the instructors would have an idea because they observe you.
Right.
But do you think they're looking for that self-awareness of like, oh, he hit that right on the nose, what I think he needs to improve on? Like, how about this is a better question. How do they present that to you? How do they ask you? Do they ask, like, what do you think you need to do better? Or they say, tell us what you think you did wrong?
Well, it's not
like, what is it like? How are they presenting it? Because that's a big thing too. Like, okay, for instance, my boss would come to me and go, what are two weaknesses you think you need to improve on?
Yeah.
So then that's on me to go,
gotcha.
Okay, I've been thinking about this. I think I need to do this and this better. And he's going to either go, that's spot on. That's what I think too.
Or he's say truth.
Or he's not. Or he's going to say, I think you do those well.
Yeah.
You need to pay more attention to this and this.
I think when I say like truth is more important is because going to the interview, personally myself, I'm thinking, okay, they don't know anything about me.
Okay.
But at the end of before I even get there, they know who I am. They've already talked to the academy that I went to, and they already talked to the instructors. So they know my strengths and weaknesses. So mainly it's more of like a truth aspect. That's how I see it myself personally. Like I gotta be blunt, straightforward with these guys, because truth goes a long way. Honesty, for me personally, goes a long way. Yes, do they might know my strengths and weaknesses? No. But are they gonna find out sooner or later? Absolutely. But I think one thing I've learned is that they're already going to know everything about you. It's more of like, okay, we're going to ask you questions. We just want to know if you're going to tell us the truth.
Yes, we want to see your intuition in a sense.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's how that's why I think truthfulness goes more than just like, okay, they're not going to ask you, okay, what's your strengths and weaknesses when they might ask you because they want to know the truth.
They're fishing, right? They're kind of just seeing what they right.
Exactly. So like if they know that you struggled in ladders and you're afraid of heights and you passed but you weren't really good at ladders,
yeah.
And if they ask you, hey, you know, just an off-topic question, you go with ladders, and you go, yeah, 100%, you lied,
right?
So I'm actually they're just gonna throw your application out the door and be like, this guy lied. He's not gonna tell us the truth, even though we already know it.
Okay.
That's how I see it personally myself.
I think your correct answer at the beginning was correct, to be really honest with you, is that it is both. You have to kind of have that intuition to realize what it is you need to improve on, And then you have to be honest with yourself
Yeah.
and honest with them to admit that you have to work on those things.
Right.
I was just trying to see where your mind was. I'm not trying to like, I'm fishing myself here, you know?
Good, yeah.
I'm not saying either one's right or wrong. But I was curious, like, see, like, and I think your answer was correct. I just wanted to see you squirm around a little bit and you can see what your answer would be if I pushed a little bit more. I do think you're correct, though, giving that answer of it's both. Because, you know, there's tons of people that can say, I messed this up, but then don't admit it to other people. Or if you bring it up to them, they deny it.
Right.
You know, or they never acknowledge the fact that their actions or their problem is accompanying this situation. Right. You know, they're like, "Oh, that's you," and you're like, "That's not fucking me."
Yeah, but I mean, because like that's how I, as far as like competitiveness through, that's how I. A little bit closer. Oh, my bad. That's how I kind of learned it myself. It was just like, okay, every day I'm going to the school, every day I'm going to class or school or the fire academy, every day it's an interview.
It is.
And that's how I took it. That's where I got the competitiveness out of it. Granted enough, I love everybody I went to the academy with. It was like 17 of us. It was great. I loved everybody. We're all like a big family.
Yeah.
Throughout that.
And don't negate what I'm saying about honesty, because honesty is very important. I mean, truth be told, like if someone's going to lie to me and I find out, I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done. You've proven everything.
That's why honesty goes a long way with me personally as well.
Yeah.
And it's just better to be honest because, you know, it helps you better in the long run in the future.
For sure. Have you ever caught anybody in like flat out lie? Have you ever known the answer and like, you already know it? Someone else, multiple people have told you. Let's just make it more evidence against them. Let's not say one person, because I feel like one person is like, you can't. Are you like if one person came to me and said something, I'm like, okay, maybe. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna go, and I might agree with you in person, and I'm gonna go. I'm going to wait and see where this goes because I'm not going to just jump ship right away, you know? I'm going to get some hard evidence and then go, okay, you're right. You know? That's just how I am. I'm not going to judge somebody off of what one person says.
Right.
Now, 10 people come to me and say the exact same thing. I might pry a little bit, see what they're going to say, you know? I might, what's going on with this? Yeah. And I get some bogus answer. I'm like, bye. I don't even want to say anything. I'm just, you lied. You lied. You're done.
Yeah.
It's a fine line. Honesty is important in anything. Friendships, family, relationships. It's
absolutely. It's
something you can't. It's something that you give the benefit of the doubt to everybody, right?
Yeah.
You're kind. You're a very kind person.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. You're nice. You're nice to everybody. You're nice to everybody I know. You give everybody that trust, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I do too. I'm the same way. I give you 100%. You have 100% of my trust. At the beginning, you can only go down though. You can't get any higher than 100%. You know.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that's how everyone. You know, some people are like, I don't trust them at first. Why not? You don't have to trust them with your deepest, darkest secret right away, right? But you can trust them with little things.
Yeah.
And then as you get better, they can trust them with more things.
Right.
But if you can find out very quickly how reliable somebody is by giving them small things to trust them with and yada. And I'm not like trying to play like this manipulator. Oh, I'm manipulating everybody. Like, no, I'm just mean like, but like that's a big thing with friends. Like you want to trust your friends. You want your friends got your back. You want, you know.
Yeah.
So you trust those people, and I trust everybody like until proven wrong. Okay. But then when you prove me wrong, don't be surprised if I act different towards you, right? You know, like I'm giving you what I think is a proper friendship. I would expect you to trust me, and I trust you. Yeah. But then, like, if you've broken it, how do we go about repairing it? Mm-hmm. What are the steps? There aren't any. It's always going to be in the back of somebody's head. Like, I don't know if they're fucking really true or not. You know, it's like,
right.
Like, and not that you can't fix it, but like, it would take time. Like someone would have to show significant effort.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong with that.
Did I get too deep for you there?
A little bit.
You look a little perplexed.
Oh, yeah.
Get closer to the mic. I can't hear you.
My bad. Yeah, man.
You can't get deep on me? What do you gotta say that?
As far as like trust? Well, I mean, as far as like I'm nice with everybody. I personally, I think I'm friends with everybody. That's my thing. I have nothing against nobody. the day that I meet you, if we have good vibes, whatever, it's trust. That's respect.
Yeah.
That's trust.
Yeah.
You're a friend to me. I'm a friend to you.
Right.
Call it
again to an extent. I'm not going to share my
right,
deepest
right.
darkest
I'm not
secret
gonna
with
tell
you.
you what my social security is and all that stuff.
No.
But
Okay, I'm not telling nobody that, no matter how much I trust you.
But I think I try to not pick sides. Like, I just try to be just like the middleman, the funny.
I'm not talking about picking sides.
Oh, as far as trust goes,
I'm not
like,
talking about picking sides. I
See,
don't think
I
think you should pick sides
think
if we're getting on that topic. But that's not what I'm talking about.
No, I think as far as like trust, I trust everybody. If you trust
Yeah.
me, I trust you. It goes both ways.
Exactly.
Now, it's, I guess, damn, I'm lost on this one.
Yeah, trust is gone.
Yeah, trust is gone. Then it's all right. Well, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's more of like, if I meet you, if we're good, you know, good vibes, good friendship. It's just the trust is there, the respect is there. It goes both ways for me.
Yeah, and gradually as we get closer and we hang out more,
right, the more trust
there be more trust.
Exactly.
And not that they've gained more trust, but they're gonna get to hear more.
Yeah, they get to open up more to you.
Yes, that's the right. Yes, yes.
You can open up more to them.
Yeah,
and I think that's how you get those close friendship bonds. And I try to be like that for everybody. I try to be that friend where like you can trust me with anything, because like it goes both ways, because I know that at the end of the day I can trust you with anything back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So just having that feeling that you can open up to somebody about your problems as you grow closer as a friendship, as a bond, it just like that's just like the big finale. Not, I wouldn't say the finale, but just this, like what you're trying to get at as far as trust goes with friends. I think personally.
I mean, I 100% agree. I give everyone that benefit of the doubt 100% right at the beginning. Yeah. It's only when you show me otherwise where I go, okay. Yeah. But until that point, I have no. Why would I not? Right. And again, I'm not gonna like meet you and be like, "Oh, we vibe really well. I trust that guy." Yeah. Hey, by the way, let me tell you about this one time. You know, I'm never gonna do that. But like, I might invite you to hang out more. I might trust you with some like gossip.
You got to get to know them first before you can
absolutely
throw
There's
yourself
also
out there
too.
and to just, you know, I can't just be like on the first day we meet each other. All right, cool. Here's my whole life story. Yeah. Now give me yours. No. It's like I have to.
By the way, I'm scared of puppies. You know, like something like ridiculous. You know.
But I think that's just how I see it. As far as like with trust and stuff. And I think it just goes long. It just goes. It helps you out in the long run, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think honesty and being truthful and being that person to rely on, does take you far. I mean, I think it shows that you're a good person when you're not like I know, and again, not to toot my own horn, but I know you're very trustworthy. You're very honorable. Like you can just tell that you have a good vibe about you. You have a good persona, and like it's like, okay, he's somebody that I can rely on, and somebody that I could see myself relying on more, and you've got my trust, and yada yada, and I'm gonna slowly. You know, I'm gonna be. That's why we've gotten good friends. That's literally why we've become good friends. Like I have a fun time with him. We laugh a lot of the same fucking jokes. We like a lot of the same shit. And I think he's trustworthy. I think he's a good fucking person. But like, yeah, I mean, of course, I think everybody's a good person. Again, exact same concept. I would assume you're all a good person until you kind of prove me wrong. Like, it's a little questionable. You know, like there's no one I've ever been like. I've picked up weird vibes from people. That's a fact. I think that's normal. I think everyone has that. Like, oh, that's I got a weird vibe from that person. But I'm never like, fuck that motherfucker. I got a weird vibe. You know, I'm never like, I'm like, I had a weird vibe, but like yeah, fucking bring it. Let's see where it goes. You know, let's see where it goes. Because like, and I'm weary of it, but I'm not like, my guard's not so up. I'm not gonna like oppose that person. You know, it's so weird. You know, but
yeah, I mean. It's just surrounding yourself with that type of people, with the good vibes and just the trustworthiness and the close bonds that you have. Like with our group, it's just it's so uplifting in a way, because even though you might be having, you know, a bad day or just it's not your day.
Yeah,
it's like once you hang out with them, it's like all that stuff just disappears, and it's like you're just lifted up and it's just good vibes and stuff like that. And I try to be that. I try to be that person. Just, you know, help everybody out the best I can. As far as like trust and listening and being there for them in their toughest times, you know, it's always nice to have that kind of
it's very tough to be that role in the group, though.
It is.
Because there's a lot of times where it feels as though like you're there for everybody, but no one's there for you.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I mean,
but I don't.
Yes or yes.
yeah, I agree with
like,
that.
I mean, but on the real note, I've. That's why I think we're good friends. And truthfully, like I've related to that with you, where I feel like you care a lot about everybody in the group, and I care a lot about everybody in the group, and we both have this. We're like, oh, we want everyone to have fun.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like if we're getting
That's
together.
how
It's
I
like,
am. It's
hey,
like
I'm like, are you good? Are you good? Are
Yeah,
you good?
yeah, yeah.
Are you good? But then at the end of the day,
am I good?
right? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's
like,
and
kind of
that's
asking that, like,
yeah,
hey, anyone want to ask if I'm
yeah.
good? Like,
I
you
mean,
know.
shit. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's that's how I am though. It's like
No,
more-
I know.
It's like
I know you are.
like
That's
when
why
we're
I feel
all
like
at
I
a
am.
party or like at a group like festivals. If everybody's having a good time,
I'm having a good
having
time.
a good
Yes,
yeah.
bro.
So
yes.
it's like, but yet I'm making sure everybody's all right. But at the end of the day, who's gonna check on me? Even though they're there,
I understand.
and
No, I know exactly what
even
you're
though they're
saying.
there, it's like, yo, I need help every once in a while here and there.
I
I'm
can't support
not-
all of you.
Exactly. But I'm not good at showing that.
I can't have the world on my shoulders, motherfuckers.
I can't do it by myself.
Do I look like God?
There's people that I don't know
why the accent came out.
there's our group. There's some of them that are really good at showing that they need help. I'm not that type. I'm more of like a hidden kind of person. Now,
I hate feeling like a burden.
exactly. Yes. I hate people that have
Yeah,
to
that's the word, yeah.
I hate people that have to worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm more of the person like I have to worry about you because I care about you. We have that close bond. We have that close friendship. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be both ways. I don't want
Do you think psychologically, because we don't want to be a burden, we have to make sure everyone else feels so good?
Yes, in a way. Yeah.
In like a weird twisted
In a
way.
way,
It's
yeah.
like, I don't want to be a burden, so I'm going to make sure
Absolutely.
everybody else is really good. But then at the end of the
Right.
day, you're like,
I don't want to hit you with all my negative feelings.
no,
negative-
never.
I feel that as a burden. Now people be like, "Oh no, you're not a burden. Like you could tell me anything. You can talk to me. You can." And I appreciate it 100%. I and sometimes I talk and I go deep and personal with
But you like when someone just reaches out to check on you.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody does.
Yeah,
I
to an
think everybody
extent.
does.
Yeah.
Me personally, as long as I have you guys there with me in that moment, having that good time, and I know that, and you guys know that I'm there for you through your good and your bad. If you need someone to talk to, if you need someone that you can trust to rely on, or just need someone to talk, mainly just to talk. And like, if you're going to have a bad day, you're emotional and stuff, I'm there for everybody.
I would say I'm there.
I'm not there from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. because I'm trying to sleep. But I mean,
there's a time frame.
There's
You're
a time
gonna
frame,
have
but
to schedule
even
your
though-
appointment.
even though people, sometimes even people reach you at different times of the day, I'm there. Like, and I tell everybody, like, I may not be there in person every day, but just know that you can call me, you can text me, you have that. You can have that trust with me that I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I agree. That's how I feel I am. Now, whether I get now,
I
the
don't
other
want
thing
to
is,
be a burden to you. So it's like I'll be there for you whenever you need, but I don't want to have you worry about me when you don't have to.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's I feel 100% the same
So
way.
it's like,
And I don't want to like say I know someone's down, right? I might just say like, hey, if you need me, I'm here.
Yeah. That's how I am. That's how I am.
Text me. This is.
Yep.
I'll be able to talk. We can meet up sometime. Blah blah blah. But I'm not. Then after that, I'm gonna be like, I'll see you when. I'm not gonna like check in on you the next day and be like, hey.
Well,
hey. I might.
I have that thing sometimes where like I check on it, but it's just because that's just how I am.
I mean, again, I might do it in like a little, but I'm not gonna push it too much.
Yeah.
Because I know me. If I was in a bad scenario, would I want someone to check up on me? Absolutely. Like, hey man, how you doing? Everything going good? It's going great. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Or it's not so well, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
Let's wait a little bit. Or can we meet right now? I'd really appreciate that. Like I'll answer one of three ways, right?
Yeah.
And if I answer it's good, that's on me at that point. For not really going, for not giving you any more, because then you're like, oh, he's good. Like,
Yeah. I feel you.
If I give you reasons why I'm good, then you fucking really know I'm good, right? If I give you, hey, I'd rather not. Yeah, that's the appropriate answer. Hey, maybe I'm not doing so good right now, but like, I appreciate it. I just don't want to talk right now.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like if they say, all right, well, I'm here for you. Just reach out. If they say reach out, then it's on me, right?
Yeah.
But if they say like, all right, like I'll check in on you a couple days, then it's on that. But like, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, I
get you. I get you.
That's
you don't
want
to be.
Oh, that's what I meant.
You
That's
don't
how
want to be pressuring them.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every day. Okay, how are you? How are you? How are you? I'm just checking on you. And I'm like that sometimes, but that's just because I don't. I'm in those type of situations. I'm not really good.
So the question is to you would be like, would you want someone to check on you like that?
Yes and no.
Yeah. I got what
yes,
you're
because like
it shows they care.
It shows that you care and you're checking on me every day, and I appreciate it. And you can't.
But same feeling.
But
I don't want to be a burden on you.
I don't want to be a burden. You don't have to go throughout your day worrying about how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, and then have to ask. Like, no, I'd rather be me 100% that way, and then nothing back towards me. That's who I am. I think I learned that mainly through like the career that I chose, just because like in firefighting, it's like you go to work, but you're not guaranteed. It's as harsh as it sounds. You're not guaranteed the next day. You're not guaranteed back home. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like life. Like you wake up and you go to sleep, but tomorrow's never guaranteed.
Nothing's never guaranteed.
That's kind of how I see it as far as like me caring about everybody, and then not having them worry about me.
I think what you just said about like nothing's ever guaranteed is important for people to understand that like it's super important for you to love yourself the most first and foremost, but then open up and give those pieces away to other people. But you have to, like, as sad as that is, truthfully, at the end of the day, it really is just you and you by yourself. Friendships, partners, they can only go so far. They can't read your head.
Yeah.
Even when you say something to them, you might have a thought in that instant of like, well, maybe it's not that. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I'm really sad. And then I'm sad about my puppy. And you're like, oh, am I really sad about my puppy? And they don't know you thought that. So like at the end of the day, it is super important for you to love yourself first and foremost. Yeah. Because when you love yourself the most, you can kind of go out and project that to the other people, and then get that good vibes going from within you going outwards versus not loving yourself and like just trying to not think about it and only help people because like I don't want to think about my shit, I just want to help people. Like there's a big difference between the two. Yeah. And some people don't distinguish that, but there is a big difference. You want to love yourself first and then go out into the world and help people and help your friends and all that stuff. And then
I think I'm one of those type of people where I don't. It's not that I don't love myself. Don't get me. It's not that. It's just my mindset's like, okay, I gotta worry about them first before I worry about myself. Kind of.
I do understand that because I'm I sympathize toward that. I very much am like that. I'm very much like when we're at the raves, I'm usually dad of the. I just usually happen to be dad of the group, and it's not because
my first EDC it was.
And your dad for I mean, I was dad when I was with those guys too, and I wasn't with you guys at EDC, but I was dad with everyone else I was with. Yeah, and I've been dad for them as well.
Dude, it's like that. It's sometimes like that when we go out, and and don't get me wrong, I don't hate it or anything. It's just they get to that point where they're like. They're not them. It's drinking wise. It's up before me.
And what's And what's funny about that? I'm the same way as you. I am. I know this for a fact because I always felt like, damn. And they would say, you don't need to take care of us. Yeah. Right.
They do.
Which is accurate. We really don't. But because we care,
it's just the way we are. Even regardless of that situation,
we want to make sure they're good. Exactly. Yes. And then if they're super hammered before we are, we're like.
Yeah.
I gotta take care. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Because I remember I used to be like, I gotta get hammered before I go out. Like I gotta get fucked up and like have a good time before I go out. Because if I don't, I'm gonna end up being the one less drunk.
That's who I am sometimes.
And taking care of people because I'll be like,
I'll get hammered quick, and then it hits me. It hits me, and it's like, all right, I gotta take care of people now. So it's like I'm not drunk anymore. It's like, okay, where's everybody? Make sure everybody's okay.
I've had that too. You gotta somehow get ahead of them and also keep a consistent
right. Yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's just how we are personally ourselves. Just because, it is like even if in that situation, if like we're not drunk or during those times,
I would do it sober too.
Sober wise,
I would do it sober too. Yeah, 100%.
It's like I gotta worry about them. Yeah. So it's like, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna get, I'm gonna do my thing. But at the end of the day, I know in the back of my head, I gotta worry about them still. So
it's weird. Yeah.
And I don't know. It's not that I hate it or anything. I think it's a blessing at the same time, but it's a blessing.
It's a
but
blessing and a curse. It's a double-edged sword.
It's a curse.
It's a double-edged. It's a double-edged sword
it's
for
like,
sure. I understand.
It's
100%
like,
what you're saying.
But at the end of the day, it just personally myself, I feel 10 times better about myself, knowing that I can help everybody before I can help myself. Now, granted enough, a lot of people are like, you got to worry about yourself first.
To an extent, right? Again, you can't like just pour yourself out and then not get anything in return and then not help yourself.
But I think it's just the way. It all falls back to like what I decided to do as far as like helping people. Like, I help them first before I help myself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It does fall for that profession. I mean, you picked a great profession with that. And that's
man.
I mean, clear as day.
I don't know. It sucks.
It sucks.
I'm playing. No, it's great and it sucks at the same time. But it's just it's kind of like that. No, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far, but you're kind of like God in a way, and that kind of
you're God.
Yeah, man. It's like shit.
I'm
man.
a God.
Exactly. But yeah, man. It's just what I've been through and as far as like what I've encountered through life myself, the challenges and stuff. I know that everyone has their own different challenges throughout childhood, throughout everything and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I mean, without those challenges, we wouldn't be who we are to this day.
Yeah, that's some scary shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's those hard times and challenges like that build you as a character.
Yeah, that's where like I go by everything happens for a reason, and
it does. It's really hard to like. It's such a cliche saying, and you almost like roll your eyes. I mean, especially when you're in the moment, you're like.
But I fucking live by that damn thing, man. It's Anyway, shit.
It does. No, I mean, it does. It does definitely happen for a reason. There's something you learn out of every.
Yeah. Man.
There's some light at the end of the tunnel in every shitty scenario. You just might not see it for a while because some are way worse than other scenarios. I'm not going to compare apples to apples on any scenario. I'm not even going to give an example because there are some scenarios that are just downright shitty, and people are like, "What the fuck is this about?" Mm-hmm. And that's understandable to be like that. But then, like 4 years down the road, you're gonna be like, "Damn, if I didn't go through that, I might have gone on that trip and died." You know, I might have.
The choices you make, man.
Yeah, it's crazy to look back, and I think it's important to occasionally look back and reflect on that stuff.
It's crazy too, because it's like, and it goes back to like even through like your childhood. It's like, what if I didn't go to this school? What if I went this way instead of that way? You know what I mean? Like,
dude, yes. Yeah. No, that's something that's funny to look back on and think, but it's definitely something that you can't ponder on. People you can't ponder on that stuff because you might get depressed. Like, damn, I should have done this, I should have done that. Like, you got to look at it and go, I'm happy with the path I chose, but you look back and you're like,
I'm curious what would have happened if I went this way, or what if I chose to go to this school, or what if I went?
Like, I didn't want to go to college, and I remember thinking like, where would I be if I didn't go to college? Right now?
I mean, shit.
Now, am I happy where I'm at right now? I am. I'm not going to complain about how and I had to have fun time in college. Sure.
Absolutely.
But like, it is, part of me is like, damn, like if I took that job right out of college, what the fuck, where would I be?
Or just the career choices you decided to do.
God, it's nuts. It's nuts. Life is just a crazy thing. But that's why we're on this podcast to talk about life, man. LYFE, man. What are you doing? Living? You're just out here every day, living yourself for every day.
Is that what that means?
That is exactly what life stands for.
Damn, now I feel bad.
What do you think it's so for?
I thought it's just life and just spelled differently.
No. Live yourself for every day.
Damn.
Or living yourself every day. You can kind of pick that one out. You choose.
Yeah, man. And I like that because you go into like it's not like your typical podcast where you talk about like one subject specifically. You talk about everything.
Yeah, I don't want it to be. I want it to. And life is so complex,
and there's
so many different avenues, so many different choices, so many different careers that it's like, why are we not exploring these more?
Exactly. And I think just like when you talk about like EDM and like EDC, like festivals and stuff, like years ago, I never would have thought I would see myself going to like EDC or like listening to dubstep. I
used to be into country music.
No,
I did.
Well,
no, I used to be into country music. I was big into country music.
I was never. I wouldn't.
I went to country music festivals.
What, like Tortuga?
I went to Tortuga. I went to Country Thunder.
I don't know what that is.
It's a big one in the middle of a cow pasture in Wisconsin.
you're
wild. Anyways, but
yeah, man, it's like, yeah, and it's funny because like I started going to like shows, like DJ shows and stuff like that while I was in the fire academy. So I remember our good friend Gio, I remember he was like, "You want to go see Bear Grylls?" And when he first asked me that, I was like, "Is he talking about like the guy, the survival guy?" Like, and
I love that. That's great.
and I was like, "Is he talking about like the survival guy?" And
the last concert I went to was Bear Grylls.
And it was like, no, it's a DJ, it's this, it's at the Ritz, it's free. I think it was free. I don't know if it was free or not. Anyway, and I went, dude. I think it was probably.
So that was your first show ever?
Yeah,
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls. 2019 was my first show.
Good show.
Yeah, it was his demon tour. It was his demon tour.
I don't think I was there, to be honest with you.
It was towards the end of like I think it was in May. I think I still have like the videos from that night. And the crazy thing about it, that being my first EDM show, to meet the DJ himself, to meet him there and take a picture with him, I was like,
whoa. Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I remember we went in our group. We went to the Ritz to go see him. It was 5 of us, and I was like, and I never thought I would buy so much merch. With like EDM merch, like these artists like Wooly, Excision, Riot 10, Bear Grylls. I didn't Sullivan King. I didn't think I'd buy any of that stuff, and I did. And once I bought one stuff, I wanted more of it.
You want more of it.
So we went there, and our friend Nikki that we had on your podcast, he had a Bear Grylls shirt that said Dubstep on it with the bear on it, and I was like, "Yo, that's dope as fuck. Like, shirt. Can I get? Do you think they sell the merch? Like, do you think they're gonna have one?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think they did." So we went to the merch area there at the Ritz, like it's like hidden in a corner, and it's right before you enter to the main stage at the Ritz. And he goes, "Hey," and I saw the merch area and I saw a shirt that I liked, and I still have the shirt. And he's like, "Hey, would you want to meet him?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he's right behind you." And I turn around and I'm like, I didn't know who he was at all. I didn't know.
Right. For show, how would you,
At this time, I didn't know who he was, anything like that whatsoever. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know what his music was like either. And I know everyone's going to hate me for this because I didn't know any of it. So I was like, "Where is he?" He's like, "Oh, he's right behind you." I did a whole 360, looked around, didn't see him. I was like, "Dude, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Like, I don't know what he looks like, to be honest with you."
Yeah, no one hates for that.
And he's like, "Yeah, he's right there." He's like, "What's up, Bear?" And I don't.
Sorry, what's up, Bear?
Bear Grylls. I didn't know his name.
No, I understand.
And
I don't know his name either.
I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "What's up, man?" And he knew him like it was like they were like friends. And I was like, "Okay." And I took a picture with him and met him, and I told him too. I was like, "It's my first show." That's the survival guy.
I know. It popped up. That's right.
And I told him, "This is my first show." He's like, "I hope you like it. You know, I hope you have a good time and this, and this." And I'll tell you, man, the atmosphere there, so different from what I like, anything that I experienced in that atmosphere of there watching a show with everybody that likes that type of music. No one gives a fuck. You're all there having a good fucking time. And, you know, I didn't know how to headbang. I didn't know like how these like, you know, I didn't know how to react to these type of music. And, you know, and believe it or not, I was like nervous to even like show, like express like how I like the songs and stuff like that. Cause everybody was headbanging. Everybody was like doing their, you know, their dances, like headbanging and all that stuff. And I was just there chilling, you know. I was like, this is all new to me. So it's all hitting me all at once. And, you know, I kind of just like let loose because everybody there next to you, everybody there doesn't give a fuck. Everybody's just like, you're headbanging with us or not. It doesn't matter how you are. If it's your first time, whatever, so be it. And I got comfortable with it and then just went loose and started headbanging. And then one thing led to another. And then the show ended. And, you know, I think it was kind of like a first step into like the
dubstep realm,
EDM world and all that stuff. And then after that, we went to like Wooly, to a set of Wooly. We went to go see Adventure Club. What's his name? Hesh and Bomber, yeah. And all these, and Sullivan King, Riot 10. And I was like, I was in love with it. I was like, this is awesome. And then I graduated the academy and to celebrate, I was like, fuck it, why not EDC? And everybody was talking about it. You know, everybody's like, oh, you have to go. So I was like,
was that 2019 was your first
2019, year? Yeah. That was my first ever festival, my first anything. So I was like, fuck it. So I bought tickets. I went, dude, holy shit.
Best experience ever.
It was like I was like a kid in a candy store. I was just like looking around everywhere. I was like, holy shit. Like, you're going to be for the 3 days, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, with thousands of people that like your type of music, that have the same interests as far as like music wise and how you like it and stuff. And I think from like the first day to the last day, it went by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But just having the videos and like the memories of going with all of you guys and meeting up with each other there, meeting up with like a big group and stuff, I think that just it was awesome, to be honest with you, because like, you know, yeah, you go and you go with, you know, your small group, you're gonna have fun, but I think getting to see all my other friends, like you guys, when I saw you there and your group, and then I saw everybody else.
It's weird because small tangent. I'm usually with your group.
Yeah.
Like, and the last like 2 festivals, you know, my girlfriend at the time, we were with her group. We were with her group the last couple times, and I was with them again for EDC Orlando, and I actually regret that. That's something I want to change going forward, is that I split my time up a little bit, because I miss hanging with the guys and like being, because I went to the festivals with the guys when I started, and I want to continue to go with them here and there,
right?
Because I felt like for a while there I was so MIA. I've like missed so much. Like, I feel like, I mean, part of it is work. I was gone for at least 8 months. I just didn't exist anymore in this world. Yeah. And now I'm back, and like I'm trying to make sure I stay a part of the friend group and like part of the friend group and blah blah blah. But I was gone for like 8 months, so it's kind of on. I mean, I didn't have a choice because of work, but I get it.
I mean,
kind of sucked.
Yeah, but I think what even made it more fun was just like the whole like meeting up with it was. It's kind of like the Avengers movies almost. It was kind of like Endgame, kind of like just everybody meeting up together. And just like as one big ass group, just listening to the same. I agree. And that was just, it made it so much more fun, so much more exciting. And then, you know, it was great. It was awesome.
It is. The festivals are super awesome. I really want to dive into that with you some more, but we are running out of time here. Yeah. I myself have to get going. No, we're an hour and a half in right now, so we've done a good job, man. We had a great fucking time. I do want you to come on again, though. We're gonna fucking talk for more festivals. We'll do all that shit. So absolutely. Count on coming again. Yeah. I hate to cut you off during that story, but I need to get going, so I do apologize.
I have to be at work at 6.
Yeah, I gotta be at work. I gotta wake up at 5 in the morning, so I gotta get moving.
Thank you for having me, man.
Dude, I had a fun time. We talked about a lot here today. We hit some.
It went by so quick. I didn't even know when you started.
I know. I didn't. Like I said, I was gonna surprise you a little bit here. I'm not gonna tell you.
It was nerve wracking, but you know, I hope
At first, it was nerve wracking.
Yeah, I hope I did good for everybody, whoever listens.
There's no good or bad. There is no good or bad.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah,
man.
Fuck that. Don't even think about that. There's no good or bad.
Everybody,
this is my buddy Fernando. I'm so glad he came on for the podcast, and he will be returning.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, part 2 coming soon.
Oh, absolutely. Peace.